The situation begins with Floyd Mayweather speaking about his position in boxing and how, in his view, he has earned the right to choose his opponents. Floyd says that he is able, like others before him, to pick and choose who he wants to fight because he has worked hard and built a career that allows him to do that. Floyd Mayweather speaking about his career choices and defending his right to select fights. He admits that he doesn't particularly like a certain fight being proposed, but reminds everyone that boxing is the hurt business and that danger is a constant in their lives. He adds that to them as fighters, danger is normal and part of what they do. Even as many people outside the sport may see it differently, Floyd Mayweather speaking about the nature of boxing risk. This discussion is happening after Roy Jones Jr. has been provoking Floyd for weeks, leading Floyd to send a fight offer to him following a call out on the Stephen A. Smith show. In response, Floyd maintains that he has earned the right to make these choices, while Roy insists he is ready to prove himself in the ring. Summary of the Floyd-Roy challenge situation. Roy's words suggest that he sees this not just as a boxing match, but as an opportunity to show the world he is still capable. He says that if someone is trying to send him a subliminal message, then it worked because he is always ready to go if anyone wants to prove they are better than him. Roy Jones Jr. speaking about his readiness to fight. Jeff Mayweather, Floyd's uncle, reacts strongly to Roy's call out. Jeff points out that Roy was the one who started the whole thing by making certain comments in the first place, and questions why someone would want to fight a person just because of something that was said. Jeff Mayweather speaking about Roy's initial provocation. According to Jeff, the motivation behind Roy's challenge seems personal. Jeff believes Roy is upset about Floyd's boxing achievements and fame. He speculates that Roy's frustration might come from the way Floyd has maintained his popularity and influence over the years. Jeff Mayweather speaking about Roy's possible jealousy. Jeff emphasizes that Roy talked about Floyd first, so Floyd was simply firing back in his own way. Jeff also criticizes the reasoning behind wanting to fight someone over words. He notes that Roy seemed to feel his manhood was questioned because Floyd showed clips of him being knocked out. Jeff says that has nothing to do with manhood, though it clearly mattered to Roy. Jeff Mayweather commenting on Roy's reaction to knockout videos. Jeff also recalls Roy suggesting a street fight, comparing it to Rocky V, with Rocky and Tommy Gunn fighting in the street. Jeff doubts Floyd would ever want that kind of scenario, though he jokes that maybe they could settle it in the doghouse late at night. Jeff Mayweather making a light joke about gym sparring. He also mentions the size difference, pointing out that Roy has fought at over 200 pounds while Floyd has walked around at about 147 to 150 pounds. Jeff Mayweather talking about size difference. Jeff dismisses the Logan Paul example as irrelevant when people try to compare that size gap. Meanwhile, Roy Jones Jr. offers his own view. He dismisses Floyd as someone who thrives on social media attention more than on pure boxing competition. Roy contrasts their careers by saying his own motivation has always been the sport itself, not just building a public image. Roy Jones Jr. speaking about his values in boxing. Roy makes it clear he fears no opponent, even at his age, and that he is ready to fight anyone. He says his public challenge is meant to prove his readiness and to silence any doubts. Roy Jones Jr. speaking about his fighting mindset. Roy then brings up Sugar Ray Leonard, agreeing with Sugar Ray's own belief that he could beat Floyd. Roy explains that the reason he believes Sugar Ray would have beaten Floyd is because when you look at the greatest fighters of the past, most of them were black, and they fought other great fighters in their prime. Roy notes that Floyd never beat a black fighter in his prime who was on Floyd's level. Roy Jones Jr. speaking about Floyd's competition level. He references Marvin Hagler, Thomas Hearns, and Roberto Duran, saying these fighters faced each other at their best. Roy points out that Floyd's biggest fights didn't come against opponents who were at their absolute peak. Roy specifically says that Floyd never fought Terrence Crawford despite Crawford being around during his era. He says Floyd fought Canelo Alvarez, who was younger than Crawford, but never mentioned Crawford's name. Roy believes that when he made this point publicly, Floyd took offense and responded by posting videos of Roy being knocked out. Roy Jones Jr. explaining the origin of their beef. Roy defends himself by saying that even those low-light knockouts were from fights that were probably more exciting than Floyd's highlight reels. He says he's not the type to run or duck a fight and is open to stepping into the ring. When asked if he thinks Floyd will fight him, Roy says he's ready and willing, but he's not sure what Floyd will decide. Roy Jones Jr. speaking about the likelihood of the fight. Roy also says that a fight between them would be highly entertaining for fans because they were the most exciting fighters of their respective decades. He adds that he and other fighters like Mike Tyson are willing to risk their health for both charitable causes and to entertain fans, especially in times when people don't have much entertainment. Roy Jones Jr. talking about the entertainment value of the fight. Roy also criticizes Floyd for claiming he is greater than Muhammad Ali. Roy says Ali is the greatest of all time, and that anyone who doesn't respect Ali cannot truly love boxing. Roy Jones Jr. speaking about Ali's legacy. He praises Ali's heart, his fight for the weak, and his ability to unite people of all races and religions. Roy stresses that Ali's legacy goes beyond the ring, and that Floyd's claim shows a lack of respect for those who paved the way. Roy says it bothers him when Floyd talks about Ali losing to an 8-0 fighter without acknowledging that the fighter was a highly skilled Olympian. He points out that if Floyd had a similar challenge in his weight class, he might not have fought him. Roy says that disrespecting Ali is disrespecting all fighters, and if Floyd wants to disrespect him, then Roy is ready to earn his respect in the ring. Roy Jones Jr. making his stance personal. Roy clarifies that he's not mad at Floyd for making money or doing things his own way, but he does not agree with calling oneself the greatest of all time while disrespecting Ali. He says in his personal rankings, Floyd is not in the top 5, maybe in the top 10, but not higher. Roy Jones Jr. giving his personal ranking of Floyd. Max Kellerman adds his perspective, saying Floyd should not be considered the greatest of all time. He points out that Rocky Marciano was undefeated at 49-0 before Floyd reached 50-0, yet Marciano was never seriously considered the GOAT. Max Kellerman giving historical context. Kellerman believes Floyd carefully selected his opponents to protect his record and maximize earnings, often waiting until dangerous fighters were past their prime. He says Floyd is among the all-time greats, but not number 1. Max Kellerman giving his assessment. Michael J. White offers a different angle, comparing Floyd to Bruce Lee and Roy Jones Jr. He says Floyd shares qualities like discipline, skill, and mastery of timing and technique, making him more than just a boxer. He is a martial artist. Michael J. White speaking about Floyd's technical skill. He notes that Floyd's ability to hit opponents unexpectedly comes from subtle body movement and timing, similar to what Roy and Bruce Lee did. The ongoing tension escalates when Floyd posts videos on social media showing every time Roy was knocked out, starting from his fight against Antonio Tarver. These are not just knockdowns, but full knockouts where Roy was out cold. Floyd does this for multiple fights, effectively mocking Roy publicly. Floyd Mayweather posting knockout videos of Roy Jones Jr. Roy sees Floyd's career as strategically built for image, rather than built on constantly proving himself against the best competition. He says real greatness comes from taking risks and facing dangerous opponents, not from careful matchmaking. Roy Jones Jr. criticizing Floyd's career strategy. Roy says that even now, at his age, he's ready to face Floyd without hiding behind subliminal messages. He reiterates his record: 66 wins, 10 losses, 47 by knockout, and 5 knockout losses, and says he's still willing to fight Roy Jones Jr., stating his readiness. Roy recalls that his criticism of Floyd mainly stems from Floyd's comments about Muhammad Ali. Roy says that as someone who paved the way, Ali should be respected by all fighters, and Floyd's claim to be better crossed a line. Roy Jones Jr. reaffirming the Ali issue. In conclusion, Floyd maintains that his stance is not disrespect to other fighters, but a reflection of his belief that no one is better than him. He says every fighter should enter the sport wanting to surpass their idols. However, when Ali's family and Layla Ali expressed their displeasure, the matter became more heated. This difference in perspective, Floyd's self-belief versus Roy's emphasis on respect for past legends, is at the heart of the ongoing dispute between them,